everyone. We are so excited to be back once again to get together and talk about real woman issues that concern friends, wives, mothers, educators, and entrepreneurs. I cannot wait to start the show, so let's get going.
Let's get it.
I'm mad you waited for the button to push to start it.
And we're trying to steal my joy. It's taking a long time to press start. All right, girls. So we are back to Teacher Talk.
Teacher Talk. We will be probably running 2 Teacher Talks at a time. Because there's one that
is about to become lost files by accident.
I know. I'm going to have to push it out. I'm going to do 2 in 1 week. And then y'all will be like, ooh, download.
Watch me. Ooh.
So, I guess Teacher Talk. I'm all hyped up on this teacher kick because I went to the National Science Teacher Association conference and was enamored with days and days and days of teaching science stuff and teaching. Oh,
look at you using your favorite word over and over
and over.
I like it.
So I did want to give my recap of Ron Clark because I think I promised on the Lost file that
you would come back and give us your feedback as to what your thoughts were, because
yes,
I am and have been a Ron Clark fan for the better part of my teaching career.
Really? I did not know you were a fan.
Yes. However, the light has been shed by you that there may be some things that I'm missing because I've been blinded by the Oprah fame that he has. So I've been very interested in hearing your perspective, because all the other times that we've spoken about this, you've kind of been like, it's just something. I don't know. So I was really looking forward to you going to this conference so you could better verbalize what it is that you are feeling. Also, I did have a little bit of hope that maybe you would see why people love him while you were gone. While you were gone. I'm sorry, while you were gone. While you were gone. But I don't know. I'm really ready. I told you not to tell me anything about it because
you told me to stop talking.
Yeah, I wanted to discover it along with the audience.
Yeah, so I was super excited because I probably wouldn't have seeked out an opportunity to hear him talk on my own. So I was like, okay, well, he's speaking at this conference. I definitely want to be there because here's this chance, because I probably wouldn't be like running and buying a ticket to hear him speak. Like, I was just like, okay, well, I would maybe watch it on YouTube or something, but I wasn't seeking to find out the details about Ron Clark at all.
Right.
So, because, the internet really does just show, and Oprah too, shows this magical school where the kids are learning all the things and they're jumping on the tables and dancing all day long, and they paint this picture of this really perfect learning environment in school, which I cannot knock because it does seem like the little black kids are learning things, or at least engaged in what they're doing.
And it seems like from the videos, it seems like they really allow the little black kids to embrace their culture and their uniqueness and not have to hide all of that.
Right, that they're free.
By assimilating.
That they're free in teaching or learning. Learning. Okay, so I also feel like, yes, having the Oprah magic touch kind of does blind people to the idea of this perfect school. And I would love to know that there was a perfect school that existed. I just don't know that Ron Clark Academy is the place. First of all, I'm neither here nor there with school choice. Charter schools, great. public schools, great. Private schools, great. As long as the kids are learning, I'm not really like pro or against charter schools, school choice. What I am against are charter schools that come into these districts of poverty and only accept students based on the parents' ability to get them there and have them apply and do all these things, because you're not reaching the students that are really high poverty. The students that are real high poverty may not have parents who can do that. They may not have the high score gatekeeper that's going to allow you even into the school. So when you're kind of bragging about these high scores and this great engagement, I really want to look at who the kids are, because that makes a difference. And being at a Title I school in a county that is high performing, if you swap the kids out from one of the really high performing schools to our schools, you would see the difference. The students do make a difference in the place. The school, yes, you can create a great environment that is awesome. You can get all the money. You can have these teachers who are awesome and dedicated, which, I mean, I think from a public school, the money is missing, but there you can find lots of teachers who are dedicated, who have innovative practices. You can find, motivated principals. So the it factor is the students. So I get leery about programs who kind of brag about moving children from destitute to success when you really are getting successful students from the beginning. So I feel like it's smoke and mirrors, because it really isn't reaching the people who you're supposed to be reaching in that community. I know for a fact that there's people who parents are doctors and lawyers, and they're breaking their necks to get their kids into that academy. So it's not my mom works at Popeyes and I'm just walking to school. They're shipping in, and it's no fault of the academy,
Right.
People who have money and see something great and see Oprah's name on it or see internet, whatever, they want their kids to be at the best school ever. So you're only taking 140. Who is making up that 140 students?
Right.
Also,
great question.
Also, there's 140 with 3 grade levels and like 14 classes or something like that. That's a very small teacher to student ratio.
Oh my gosh,
very small. So for me, great. Can we make those changes in the public school? Yes. My whole goal would be the first thing. If I was Betsy DeVos, I would say make small classes. That would be the number one thing that would help education. So if you have one teacher and 14 students, we can probably jump on desks. We can do a lot of things. We can have Freedom Friday.
And you've
handpicked the best of the best through test scores already.
Interviews,
rigorous, like everything. Yes, you can have Wakanda Land. Because
and it's funny, you've heard me talk about Gerald Bird, who is the artist, the local artist, and he has the Institute of Imagination, which is that paint studio in town. I was a little perturbed because somebody came to me and I said, Sharifa has gotten to me.
Oh no.
Because they were like, did you see what Ron Clark did for Black History Month? He recreated Wakanda and had the drummers, the African drummers. And I was like, hold up. At Carrollton Junior High School, when I was a teacher, Gerald Bird brought drummers, steppers. He did all that at a public school in the gym for our Black History program. We all marched our little tails into the gym, and he had done this. And again, this is just a local guy who has a heart for kids, who knew the right people he could call in to do it. Now, we didn't have the food. That would have been the only but I was a little defensive because I was like, baby, we did that about 8 years ago.
Right. And it almost is like, and we're just talking about school choice. So this is not pausing on the Ron Clark, but just school choice altogether. I was listening to the Teacher's Lounge podcast, she's so funny. She went in about this Betsy DeVos interview. Mm-hmm. I mean, she went all the way in, and I was like, girl, this is a woke teacher episode more than it is anything else. So she was discussing the fact that Betsy went in and there was a few robots the kids were working with. She said, cool. You know, one group it was flexible seating, so the kids were sitting on the balls. Cool, seen that in public school. The teacher was on the ground with one group. Cool, that happens in a public school. So she was like, except for the robot, there was nothing going on in these school choices that was different from what a normal teacher would have. She was like, even one group was doing worksheets of drill practice. And she was like, why would you, when the Secretary of Education comes to your school and you have a worksheet ready for the students to do? Like, hello, stupid. So like, So she was just like, so to say this school is better because we've got this great thing going on and y'all don't have that. I don't know. Now, I do know that Ron Clark talked some really great motivated points. He was talking about how standardized testing is a snapshot and it's not indicating of, you know, that was along the lines of what I was thinking. You know, performance-based learning is great. He also talked about 3 types of teachers: the runner, the jogger, and the rider. And, you know, how they're all useful in their own way. And sometimes the riders become runners. And he was basically, I feel like it was a plug to advertise for more teachers to come there. Like, I feel like his whole speech was about teachers coming to visit his school and teachers wanting to work for him. Like, that's recruiting, because it's the biggest amount of science teachers that you have in one place. Science teachers are hard to come by. Like, good science teachers are really hard to come by. Yes. So I felt a little bit of that because he spoke many times about how 6 months out, you can't even visit his school 6 months out. So if you're trying to come, you need to make sure that you book it because we are booked every Friday up until, you know, whatever month. And didn't say how much it was, but I found that out. Then he was talking about how, you know, the type of teacher, he basically was giving a scenario of a teacher who was just visiting and had started helping out or whatever. And he tried so hard to get that teacher and finally got him to work for him. And it was like, okay, so I don't know what that has to do. I think he was trying to say teachers that are good teachers and they make a difference, or be that type of teacher. I don't know. Maybe it was motivational.
Okay.
So he was talking about how he went all the way up to Pittsburgh to recruit this teacher who didn't want to be recruited, and he ended up getting him to come to that school because he was great and all great teachers want to work there. Which I was like, okay, I'm not that interested, but I know teachers who really are.
I applied.
Did you?
It was only like my second year of teaching, though, second or third. I was a little cocky girl because they had blown me up and acted like I was so good. So I was like, oh, I need to blow this joint then if I'm this good. But this was before we had the smartphones and had all the convenience of making nice videos, because you have to make a video of you teaching.
Oh, to
apply. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And so I had set up my own little camcorder and... Oh my gosh, you know, that really dates. That shows how long ago that was. That was 13 years ago.
Oh my.
And I wanted to do it so bad. And it was one of my lessons where I was singing and I was doing, but I don't remember if I knew that was like one of their main staples. But like I said, what frustrated me so much about another conference that we went to was that a lot of the things that we do so well just in the moment of creativity, we're not recording those things and putting them out on YouTube or making them go viral or whatever. Right. So that's super frustrating. So I was absolutely just coming up with songs just off the top of my head, not trying to do any of that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to record this little review song that I made up, whatever. Didn't get a call back. And it's all good because I was just like taking a shot in the dark. I was a third-year teacher. So I was one of those that wanted to teach there back in the day.
Right. And I'm sure, I mean, even when I posted that I was seeing him talk, there was a teacher that was like, oh my gosh, that's my dream school. And then another person commented like, you just want to get close to Oprah.